Okay, so additional topics in mathematics, lines, angles, and triangles. This is basically a very simple problem. These are pretty simple problems, and we are just gonna talk about the lines, angles, and triangles within a very short amount of time. So supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. I told you that the units of angle are primarily two different units, that is degree and the radian. So degrees degree is one of the types of the units for the angle. The most common example of supplementary angles is when two angles are formed with a straight line across the bottom. So supplementary angle means such type of angle with respect to one another, which is consisted by the summation of 180 degrees, which means that the angle between the angle between here and the angle between here is basically x plus y equals 180 degree. So the x is the supplementary angle with respect to y, and the y is the supplementary angle with respect to x. Okay, so here is a problem given that ABC is a straight line that is intersected at point B by BD, and that angle ABD is 180 degree. What is the measure of DBC? So you also need to form an equation that is basically x plus 120 equals 180 because they are supplementary angles. The summation of supplementary angles is 180 degrees, and then you just need to find out the value of x. And this is how it as simple as that. Vertical angles. The next topic, the vertical angles. When two angles are intersecting each other, they are called vertical angles. They uh, the only condition is that this angle and this angle, this angle and this angle, and this angle and this angle are needed to be equal. This line is intersecting the another line. This line and this line are intersecting each other, and they are called vertical angles because this angle and this angle are same. This angle and this angle are same, and for this angle and for this angle, they are also same, and they are called vertical angles. These are some simple definitions, nothing uh, but some simple definition. We have some same type of example as we have done previously. Two lines intersect uh, one another in the previous figure above. What is the measure of n? What is the measure of n angle? This is 80 degree because this is vertical angle, okay? So this is vertical angle. This n and this 80 degree are vertical angles with respect to one another, okay? So, so parallel lines and are transversal. So these is a these two are parallel lines with one another, and this is a line that it is just cutting these parallel lines. These two parallel lines are being cut or being intersect by this line. So if I am gonna just add some color, just consider that these two lines are being cut by this blue line. So this is called the blue line is called transversal. Blue line is called the transversal. Sorry for the L. And these red lines are the red lines are the parallel lines. Okay, the red lines are the parallel lines. And the thing is, these angles are similar, and it is some pretty basic geometry. That is, the when a parallel line is cut by a transversal, then the angle formed, because we have 8 angles formed here. 8 angles. We have 8 angles. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 8. We have 8 angles formed here. And they're same. Okay? They're same. Not they're all the same, but they have some pretty basic rules of becoming same. This angle and this angle are same. And as a fact, this angle and this angle is also same. And this angle and this angle is also same because they're vertical angles. These blue angles are vertical angles. And as a fact, this angle and this angle is also same. Okay? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Basically, you just need to remember this picture. You just need to remember this figure. And you just need to do some things with your own pen and paper. Take a pen and paper and just try to recall whatever you are just doing. Basically, you are just cutting cutting parallel lines with a transversal. So what is going to happen? You just need to recall that and you will understand hopefully. So we have some example problem. What is the value of A? What is the value of A? You can, the thing is, this is 70 degree and this is going to be also 70 degree. This is going to be the also 70 degree and we are just asked to solve the value of A. So this angle and this angle is the same, or you can just simply tell this angle and this angle is same. So this is going to be 70 degree and this is going to be the A. So A plus 70 degree is equals to 180 degree. So the value is equals to 180 degree minus 70 degree, which is going to be the answer. Okay. Okay. As simple as that. As simple as that. As simple as that. Practice problem. We have practice problem number 1, practice problem number 2, and practice problem number 3. Solve all of these problems, and they have already given you the solution. They have already given you the solution. These are some pretty basic problems. I don't think you just need to. We just need to talk about each and every single problem separately. So we have some additional topics. In mathematics, there is angles, triangles, and quadrilaterals. Angles, triangles, and quadrilaterals. So the there's a rule, the pretty simple basic rule, which is telling you that the the sum, the sum of the measures in degree, the sum of the measures of the degree of the angles of a triangle is 180 degree. We know that, we all know that the sum of all of the angles is 180 degree. So they're just asking you that maybe to find the value of x. You just need to subtract them. This is very simple. The set does not give you reminders of this concept. Be sure you memorize them. What is the equilateral and what is the isosceles? Okay, so you just need to know the definition of an equilateral. An equilateral triangle is such type of triangle which have the exact same length for each and every single side. It means that the length of this side, the length of this side, and the length of this side, all of the sides are same. All of the sides are same. The exact same length. The exact same length. The exact same length. Okay, all right. So isosceles triangle have only two sides equal because this is y and this is y and this is some a b c d. Maybe there is x because isosceles triangle have only two angles equal and two sides equal. And for your kind information, for a given triangle, this is basically one of the theorems of geometry. There are so many theorems in geometry. For this is basically the primary theorem. The opposite sides for triangle for having the same exact amount of angle. For an example, it means that this angle is A and this angle is also A. So it means that the opposite side of this angle is basically this double thick side, and this opposite side of this angle, maybe this is a single thick side, they're same. Opposite sides have the exact same length of the side. Opposite sides of having the same exact angle have the same length of side. You got me? Because it means that this is alpha and this is alpha. So that's why the opposite side of this alpha angle, this is y, and this opposite side of this alpha angle, this is y. This is same. This is same. The same amount of length. This is the theorem. For this triangle, we have, this is x, the opposite side of 60-degree angle. This is x, and for this 60-degree we have x, and for this 60-degree we have x. So all of this angle is 60-degree, and that's why this is x, this is x, and this is x. All of them are same.
Okay.
Okay, so similar triangles are ones that the same angles, but not necessarily the same sides, not the same sides. Same angles, but not the same sides. Okay. Same angle, but not the same side. The triangle on the right side is larger than one on the left. Yet they are similar. They have the same angle measures, and their sides are proportional. You just need to look over these theories, and you just need to look over what the definitions are talking about, because these things are quite important, because they are just trying to recall you whatever you have just read in your previous classes. And
Okay.
this is basically some simple mathematic problem. You just need to look at it, because 10 divided by, you can just say that 10 by x, 10 by x equals to, uh, 10 by x is equals to 12 by 24, and this is basically 6 by 12. Okay, so
Mhm.
you can find the x. This is, I'm just giving you some intuition, basically. I'm just giving you some intuition, and intuitively you can say that because they are similar, they are having the same angle. This is angle A, this is also angle A, this is angle B, and this is also angle B, this is angle C, and this is also angle C. So they're similar because they all have the same angles. They all have the same angles, but the length of the sides for the triangle are different. So that's why we can just develop a relationship, a proportional relationship, and that is what they're talking about. They're just trying to talk about some proportionality. They're just talking about some proportionality, the proportionality relationship, and we just need to go through this. And the proportional relationship can help you to understand what they're talking about. Basically, you can just do as they're doing, or you can just write it like this, because this thing can come from this, and this thing can also come from this. Okay, you can just
Okay.
also write from this, because these two are interchangeable, and these are basically some one of the relationships, or one of the postulates of a proportionality. So quadrilateral has internal angles that add up 360 degrees. It means that a quadrilateral, the total amount of a quadrilateral, the total amount of the angle, the total amount or the total sum of the angles of a quadrilateral, that is basically 360 degree. That is 360 degrees. So you can just find out the value of x. This is one of the example. They're just asking you as that, what is the value of the x. We have some practice problems. Please do this practice problem, and do this practice problem, and the solutions are already worked out. So you can just definitely go through the problem, and then you can just have some idea, grab some concepts. So we have some practice drill, additional topics in math, lines, angles, and triangles. They're just asking you write the answer, underline blank under each question, 12 minutes. And in the drawing above intersecting lines, how many of the angles x, y, and z is or are equal to 180 degrees? 180 degrees. Because vertical angles, the concept of vertical angles, we have only one, we have only one angle, that is basically 120 degrees, because the x is going to be 180 degree minus 120 degrees. This is basically 60 degree. So x is equals to 60 degree is equals to y, the angle y. But for z, we have 120 degree, because the angle z and the 120 degree, this is vertical angle, this is vertical angle. So we can tell that we have only one angle that is equal to 120 degrees. So we have some pretty similar examples. An equilateral triangle has the following lengths in units: 8x minus 7 and negative 2x plus 38. What is the value? What is the value in unit x? What is the value of it? So you just need to equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle means that uh, they have all the sides are equal. They have all the sides that are equal. Equilateral triangle, because we have already went through the definition of an equilateral triangle. So they all have the exact same amount of length. So So you can form an equation, x minus 7 equals 8, and minus 2x plus 38, that is also equals 8. So you can just find out the value of x just by solving one equation in which you are comfortable with. That is, so the same type of problems, you just need to go through the definition and you just need to look through. Maybe they have some pretty amazing problem, this problem. I think this is an amazing problem. Problem number 7, do it. This is very important example. If a triangle ABC has one angle greater than 90 degree, what is the maximum number of sides of the triangle that can be equal in length? That is basically they're just talking about the proportionality relationship. That is what I've just talked about in the just a few minutes ago. That is the opposite angle, the opposite sides of the opposite equal angle. For example, this is A and this is also A. So the opposite side of this angle A, this is basically X, and this is the opposite side of this angle A, this is also X. So X is equals to X because A is equals to A. This is basically a theorem, okay? So you just need to apply. You just need to apply those type of theorems, and maybe you just need to build some problems from, build some definitions from your own text. So this is, you just need to solve the examples and solve the problem and how you do it. So we have just talked about some supplementary angles. We have talked about supplementary angles. We have talked about vertical angles. We have talked about supplementary angles. We have talked about parallel lines and transversal. That's pretty important. So we have solved some additional problems in angles, triangles, and quadrilaterals. And we have come to know about some definitions: equilateral triangle, isosceles, and the quadrilateral 360 degree. Solve some examples and some practice drills. That is how you just need to cover. That is how you just need to solve this chapter. And this is it.